Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering Winter Edition of 2021. My name is Ulvind. I will accompany you for the next, let's say, 2.5 hours. I am joined right now by CDRomatron, who will run Crash of the Titans, a DS Crash game. So, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Welcome everyone to Crash the Titans, the DS port. This one's really different from the rest of the ones you guys will have seen. So let's just hop right into it. We'll be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So just so you guys know exactly how I'm playing this, I'm playing this on an original DS. We're doing this through a capture card. That's why it looks as clean as it does. Cannot wait for you guys to see just how different this game is from the rest of the versions of Crash of the Titans. Most people will know it from the PS2 and the Xbox 360 versions, which is a very long linear levels, beat-em-up gameplay. This is a lot and similar, but also a lot of throwbacks to retro mechanics, which hopefully you guys will get to enjoy. So our main methods of moving around here is we're going to be using the slide whenever we can. This allows us to get around the levels really quickly. This is the tutorial area just off the bat. So there's not much for us to collect. Maybe to explain a few things that have changed since the old games. There are now, like, when you beat up an enemy, they've got health and they'll have stars above. Once the stars have maxed out, you can jack them, and then we can use that opponent as a way of attacking more opponents. These are all linear levels. We're just going to get through this first one as quick as possible. I would like that Womp Whip. There's a few power-ups we're going to be obtaining throughout the run. Most of them are random. You'll be able to see them along the bar along the bottom. I can activate them at any times. They range from power-ups to health increases to temporarily invincibility. Few great different power-ups. We've also got an extremely broken combo just out of the game, which is an aerial attack like this one. We're not able to jack the enemies just yet. We get that after this tutorial. Just gotta finish off a few enemies here. Aku lets us know that we're not strong enough to defeat him, although we totally are. So let's go save Aku. So now when we go and beat this guy up... Oh. There we go. Now we can jack him, and now we've got his powers. And we can move from mutant to mutant using the Aku on the touchscreen, which is a little hard because he's in the corner. And we can use that to increase our Mojo multiplier. Mojo is important, allows us to buy power-ups in between levels, such as attack increases, and various other things. However, because we want to go fast, we're only going to buy attack increases. So here's Coco. Coco we're not going to see too much of, aside from between levels. She's the one who's going to sell us all stuff that we're going to need to collect. So now we're off to our first actual level. Every level's got 2 versions, a main one and a side mode. We're just going to be doing the main one for all of those. It's all that's required. So you'll see a bunch of retro stuff here. Every level actually has 4 gems. Has a box gem, a mojo gem, a mask gem, and a gem for the minigame as well. However, we don't need any of those. All we care about is getting the crystal in each level. You'll notice Crash has a health bar in the top left, as well as a bunch of feathers in the top right. Feathers are temporarily invincibility before we start taking actual damage. And mutants, as you can see here, are very slow, so we're only going to be using them for combat and then ditching them as soon as we can. Like here. And through it loads on. Fantastic. I'm also trying to chain these slides together as best as I can. They're quite short in duration. It is one thing that you can upgrade using the mojo. However, we would much rather spend our mojo on strength upgrades. And although this run starts off very easy, as you're not meant to have anything by this point in the game, later on, because we won't have been buying health or strength or health or defense boosts, it's going to be extremely tough later on. But we'll be able to make quick work of a lot of the enemies. So this is a... gosh, I can't remember the name of this. I think this is like a Willifant. Yeah, a Willifant. So we need him to get through water. Crash will just die the moment he touches water in this game. So we're just going to bring him through here, abandon him, and be on our merry way. Got another powered up here. Fantastic. So over the course of the run, we definitely need at least one invincibility power-up to be able to do all the strats that we want. Which there's a decent chance that we're going to get at least one invincibility. We get 3 power-ups from every boss that we do, and a few random ones just scattered throughout levels. Let's take another Welvant through this water here. And forward we go. Ooh, there's a strength increase. That's going to be super helpful for some of these bosses. And of course some of these sound effects here are throwbacks to some of the Traveler's Tales Crash games. At least I think it was Traveler's Tales, like Crash Tag Team Racing and such. No, that would have been Traveler's Tales, sorry, that would have been Vivendi. So here, we're going from Titan to Titan to increase our Mojo multiplier. So now we're at ×3. The reason we're doing this is because some of the upgrades we want are a little expensive, and it means we need to be a lot less careful about how much we're picking up. And then there's the end of the first level already. So we're ending up with 2 health, an AoE, and a strength upgrade, which is really good. On to the second one. So that was Wampa... I think this one's Wampa Village now. That was like Wampa Jungle. Or maybe it's the other way around. Okay, sorry, this is Wampa Jungle, the last one was Wampa Village. This game is very much a lot of the same. We're going to see a few different Titans throughout. A lot of the differences are just in the attacks they have. A few of them all have gimmicks, such as we can use stronger versions of their attacks using the touchscreen gimmick. So that might be something along the lines of drawing circles on the touchscreen or blowing into the microphone. A few different things like that. We are going to be avoiding basically all combat unless it's mandatory. It's really easy to tell when combat's mandatory because that will be the gates with the keyholes. Of course, normally in a casual playthrough, you'd stop, you'd beat up a bunch of these enemies, you get high mojo multiplier. See, normally this one's goal is 500 mojo, which is quite a bit to collect, especially early on. So this is an enemy which is an extremely powerful attack, even the weakened button version of it, which can use to KO all these titans super quickly. Here's another Whalefant, which can take. There we go. And we can wall boost off pretty much all these walls here. They give us huge amounts of speed. Oh, let's just go forward. There's a Tiki treat there, which I was hoping to pick up, but got pushed away a little too fast. The dodge distance from this game isn't too fantastic, so we really can't see all that far in front of us. So normally it's not a problem, we know what's coming, but for the power-ups it would have been useful to be able to see. We're coming up to the end of the second level here. Just through this door. A bridge to go over. There should be another power-up just ahead here. Let's see what we're getting. Ooh, a tiki treat. So a tiki treat will increase our feathers back to full, which is very useful. So later on in the game, this is going to get quite difficult health-wise. So picking up any and all health power-ups near the start of the run is going to be super useful going forward. Here, take care of these guys, grab the crystal, finish off the rest of these guys. You can use the surfboard to get some pretty quick KOs. Otherwise, we just need to finish off these guys. Getting damage on as much of them as we can, as quickly as possible. So it's we move from Titan to Titan by flicking the Aku Aku in the top left-hand corner. And as you can imagine, aiming up left when it's already in the up left is a little bit of a hard angle to get, especially when I don't have time to like handle a stylus at the same time. And that's 2 levels already, going on to the first boss, which is Dingodile. The Dingodile you never actually saw in the console versions of any of the Titans era games, but he was in both this game and the Game Boy Advance game. In this one, his personality really hasn't changed at all from the original era. So we just need to dodge him for a short amount of time until Willifant spawn. Grab one of these guys. Run forward, attack, block, and we wait. And attack and block. Block and attack. There we go. And hopefully I've positioned myself so I'm pretty close to where we need to be. A little off, but oh well. We're just gonna keep hold of this guy, he's pretty useful. We could lose him and just grab another one, but it's really not that much of a difference. I'm gonna go for a setup here, where if I line myself up properly, over on this side, I think it's about here, because the platform's about to raise up off the ground, and hopefully I've positioned myself right. We're gonna do this during the cutscene. Oh, I just missed it. Oh, that's a shame. There's not really any sort of visual cue I can use for that, it's just kind of estimating. That wasn't too far. Any Wumpa Fruit we see, nice and simple, it's just a basic health increase. Picking those up whenever they're free. Ooh, almost. Stop blocking a little too early there. Right, we'll see what power-ups are available, otherwise we're going to try quit out really quickly, and I'll explain why just at the end of this. Hey, what do we got? Okay, so at the end of every boss level, there's a 10-second waiting period where you can go and pick up a bunch of mojo. And 3 power-ups will spawn. However, you've got to wait the full 10 seconds, even if you've collected absolutely everything there is to collect. Which we'd prefer not to do. So, if I don't see any power-ups which would be nice to have, then I can just quit out the level and skip the 10-second wait period. The disadvantage to that is... if there is something I like, I do have to wait the full 10 seconds, because I will lose any power-ups that I pick up if I quit out after picking up a power-up.
Alright, do I have some time to talk about upcoming runs?
This would be a perfect time, yes.
Oh, nice! Because we have a couple incentives. Might I say bid wars here? We have the name of the main Pokemon of the run, which will be Charizard. Well, Charmander, as it stands, because it will be the first Pokemon we have. For the moment, Big Idiot is at $200, followed by Butters and Snom, both at $50. Mr. Anderson at $40, and Keyzeron is trailing with $10. If you want to see any of these names actually get used for the reverse badge order Pokemon Red and Blue run, don't hesitate to donate. And yeah, it's going to be pretty fun, trust me.
So what you guys saw there was the very first Nina level. The Nina levels are a short little interlude between every single hub world. We get to see one level from an upcoming hub. Well, part of a level from an upcoming hub. So we're going to talk to Coco here and grab some attack upgrades, as she so nicely tells us. We're 10 short of the second one. Mostly what's important is I want to have enough for the third upgrade by the end of this hub. I just wanted to pick up 1 or 2. Unfortunately, I really wanted 2 by this time. But it's far from the end of the world. It just means we're going to need to get 1 extra hit in a few of our combos. Okay, so this is the start of Hub 2. Now we've got a lot of bottomless pits to worry about. This is our first mandatory combat thing where it's not entirely clear what we have to do. Take down this guy, and now we're going to fight a bunch of enemies over here until the platform spawns. I'm purposely staying on the Titan because he can just one-hit all of these guys, which is super useful. His special attack isn't great, but this guy's special attack is absolutely fantastic. Just spin around on this. There we go, there's 1. Just 2. Get a mojo from that. Take the platform. Don't really need the guy anymore, so get his mojo. And up we go. And onto the elevator section. Elevator section is a long auto-scroller. Fortunately, we don't have a way to skip it. But I'm going to do what I can to minimize lag. That's going to be writing specific titans at specific parts, just to try and reduce the amount the game lags. Also doing what I can to maintain a high combo. By doing that, we'll be able to have a lot of mojo going forwards. So here I am physically using my finger to spin around the bottom screen. Does way more damage and spins a lot more than if I were to use the B button version of the move. Which is a huge advantage to playing on a real console as opposed to an emulator, because doing that kind of thing on a mouse, I really can't imagine it being fun.
I assume there's some time to talk about our sponsors?
Oh yes, please go ahead.
Okay, we have to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands, and they have supported UKSG from the beginning, spreading the word, provide us with a channel to stream on in the past sessions at least. And yeah, we have the 5th year of BSG on February 27th and 28th. Also, keep in mind that BSG Online 4 submissions will also open up on Sunday, and all of these events will be streamed on the ESA channel, so you will need to go extremely far to watch them, at the very least.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really exciting marathons coming up over the next few weeks, so a lot for you guys to look forward to. And especially, don't need to go anywhere, since it's all airing to ESA. It's a nice general place you can just watch out for when it's live. Land there, and the crystal here is a little hidden. Wouldn't blame people for missing it in the first playthrough. It's up here for some reason. Nice and out of the way. Okay, that's the first level done. Work 2. And then we're going to go and see that magma level, which is going to interest us to our next tier of titans. At the moment you've seen 2 tiers of titans, the small titans and the slightly larger ones. This is going to be our introduction to the largest tier of Titan. Well, I guess the second largest tier of Titan, because there's a 4th tier, but you only see that, I think, once in the game. So here, we're just going to play through this quick as we can. Careful on our platforming here. It's a little hard to tell where you're going to land at times, but you just kind of got to know how far Crash jumps. Ideally, I want to be coming out here with about 120 mojo from this level. Didn't get messed up by the auto-scroller section there. Sometimes when it throws you off, it'll throw you off at a weird angle. Luckily, it played along today. And up on these ledges. Through the Lex and it loads up. F. Is everything okay with the stream? Just checking.
Yeah. We seem to have video issues on your side. At the very
On
least.
my side,
Yes.
are we able to pause this for a moment? Because I'm not dropping any frames or anything.
It's coming back intermittently, but there was spaces where stream wasn't there for about 30 seconds, but it seems to be back now.
Oh, it seems to be back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea what would have happened there. Just got another combat room coming up here. So hopefully in this time the stream will be able to fix itself. So.
Yeah, it's looking good right now. You can continue.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Right, so now we're just going to come around to the left here. Jump up over here, taking that shortcut round. Now you'll be starting to recognize this part of the bit we did with Nina earlier. Let's get past these guys. And we're going to be taking another Titan just ahead here. Break through these boxes to get a little bit extra mojo. And we're going to take this Titan because there's a little bit of a hard fight coming up. It's just a little bit of safety. Means we can KO these enemies a lot faster as well. So this is our next tier of Titan. This one's pretty tough. But we can just stun lock it, which is quite nice. Yep. This guy's going to be super quick for KOing everything else from here. It's a lot faster to switch from Titans, even if their attack is pretty slow. Killing a Titan completely and causing it to despawn takes a long time. So sometimes we will be going for a slower Titan just because it will take less time than it like properly dying. Another advantage of that kind of Titan that we just saw was it can walk in lava, so we've actually got to clear a few enemies here. Slowly work our way up the food chain here. Oh, hopefully that's all okay. There we go. And wait for the next one. We're going to use a special attack here. Oh, he is not where I want him to be. I'm going to come back a little bit. Ah, he is miles away. Can I reach him from here? Oh dear. Yas, there we go. That was worrying. I've never gotten stuck in the lava before. At least not that far out. So here we're going to hold on to this guy, damage a beast through this, and use that box to kind of bounce him up here. So we can use this Titan for this section, maintain our mojo multiplier, and get a lot of mojo from this level. We're going to be using that, buying another power-up before the next boss, because that'll be one we're actually going to be fighting pretty normally. So having the strength upgrade is going to be super useful. Okay, one more wave should do it. I think I'm missing someone. There he is. Another guy there as well. Some of these enemies are just slightly escaping my field of vision there. Unfortunately, the Mojo multiplier does cap out at ×5, so we're not going to get any bonus ones from here forward. But here we can use the special attack. Just to quickly combo this guy down. Click the Mojo, dismount, and away we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now, like I said, we're going to go back to Coco. We're going to pick up as many strength upgrades as we can. I think we can pick up at least 2 more. Awesome, we got the hover spin. That's the really important one that we need to get for the next hub. So this is Engine. Engine is a pretty simple fight. We just need to attack him as much as we can, wait, jack an enemy, and then use the enemy to kill Engine. Engine's got a lot of health and a long iframes, so he's just kind of a bit of a long boss. You see here, like, I'm right on top of him, just attacking him constantly so that when his iframes are up, I'll be getting damage in, but you can see just how infrequently I'm actually dealing damage to him there. Specifically, I'm on a Titan just because his missiles actually do a large amount of damage, and when you crash without any health upgrades, this fight can be super scary. So being on a Titan makes this a lot safer. Okay, come on. He's almost dead. There we go. Okay, let's see what kind of power-ups Engine drops. Hopefully we get at least 1 invincibility from this fight. Strength upgrade. Ooh, nothing there either. That's a little worrying. But still, we've got 2 more boss fights left. Hopefully we'll find something by then. This is another one of these Nina interludes. Doing my best to charge us to walk. And we just need to convert a set number of these nice happy animals into our titans. Fortunately, there is no button combination for recharging the power. I need to manually do that by spinning the touchscreen.
I assume we have a couple seconds to read some blurbs?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we would like to say that UKSG actually, we are raising money to support Crisis. It's a charity that supports people out of homelessness for good, and they achieve this normally through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. Keep in mind that 100% of the donations during this marathon will be supporting Crisis. And here's about what they do in their own words. They notably say that we offer one-to-one support, advice, and courses for homeless people in 12 areas across England, Scotland, and Wales. So if you want to help this cause, don't hesitate to donate for this marathon.
We had a really good Nina section there. We were a little scared about the Crushers at the end, but it all worked out pretty well. Moving forward here into Entrapment Temple. This is when the game starts to get a little more difficult. So I've got a few fights I need to watch out for here. So we haven't quite found an invincibility power-up yet, which I was hoping to have found by this point, but we have been able to save some time though by being able to quit out some of those levels early. The main thing that we unlocked by getting all those strength upgrades, we now have the ability to spin in the air. And that's going to allow us to do a little bit of a skip near the end of this level, as well as a huge skip in the next level. So we've got these huge boxes we need to get past in front of us. Only large titans can be used for that. Oh, fortunately we got KO'd. Luckily we had a checkpoint just before here, so that's not a problem. Getting stun locked by enemies is a real problem in this game. Yeah, so let's see if we can get that all lined up correctly this time. I think we're taking just a little extra damage. Okay. There we go. That's what was supposed to happen. Take this guy, bring him forward. Hang on here. We just have one small fight up here. I want to say it's really impressive how this game has managed to like just run on the DS full stop, considering like the other caliber of games that were on the DS. And it's such a shame that they went from this to the unfortunate situation with Mind of a Mutant, which was just a very mediocre 2D platformer from after this game. But this game on its own is definitely super fun. I'd recommend it if you guys haven't played this one before. I think it offers a lot to the franchise. And it's also just very different in terms of story and everything. The 100% ending especially, I won't spoil it for you guys, but it is genuinely worth playing the game for the 100% ending alone. So here we're seeing a new enemy, the polar bears. The polar bears are super scary. Their special move is extremely threatening. Speaking of threatening, this guy is not threatening. We're going to take this guy and we're actually just going to dismount him, because he's absolutely useless. Like, he's maybe a huge titan, but he's so awkward to control, he's effectively useless. And I'd much rather use these small guys going forward. I think this should be our last one. Another one I've missed. Oh, there he is. Game does start to get laggy when they are putting so many enemies in this now. So hopefully we don't have too many situations. This is a bit of a scary bit. There's no checkpoint for a while before this. Luckily I've got a few health power-ups in case anything goes wrong. I'm going to swap to another one here. And I'm just going to try bait one of these over here. Get him away from the other one. Ooh, just about. Come on, I want the polar bear. Yes, there we go. Like I said, the polar bear does a lot of damage. Tons of damage, actually. There's two spawn at the same time, which is why they're threatening. If they both attack you at the same time, it's an insta-kill. This is the big boy. But we can absolutely decimate him even with a weak version of the special attack. And we just need to spin to win, get through these 3 rounds. There we go, very nice. Big hole here. It's a little harder to see what I'm seeing as opposed to what you guys are able to see. You guys are able to see it a lot clearer than I am. As I said before, I'm doing this off a DS fitted with the capture card. So you guys are seeing the nice, like, complete normal output, whereas I'm seeing on an old DS screen, which is a little darker than what you guys will be seeing. Meaning some of these holes don't stand out as great on a old dark screen. So if you do play this game, I would really recommend playing this on a DS Lite or 3DS or a more modern DS console. I would definitely say that's the best way to play a game like this. Okay, just getting to the top here. Crystal's just going to be over on our right in a moment. Let's get to the top of here. Fortunately, these masks that are lying around everywhere don't quite do anything for us. Those are only for the 100%. They unlock some cool stuff, though. Let's get up here. And finally, this is the first one of the skips we can do with the flight. So we can just jump all the way forward here, all the way up here. Normally there's a bunch of platforms you'd have to be waiting for. It's quite nice just to be able to safely hover over to them. And up here. Fantastic. So the next level is the scariest one in the game by far. Huge skip and a lot of difficult fights. I'm going to take some time here to buy some strength upgrades. Oh, I can afford exactly one. Maybe going to get a health upgrade whilst I'm at it. Just every little bit will help in a difficult level like Tiny's activation. Also, you guys haven't seen Tiny yet. Oh boy, they massacred my boy. So this is the level we saw a little bit before with Nina. And once again, there's this roller guy. Normally the roller guys are pretty fast in the Titans games. As you saw in the Mind Over Mutant run yesterday, we basically used a roller for the whole run. In this game, he's actually really slow, unfortunately. And the controls are a pain because you roll by spinning a ball on the touchscreen, which isn't the best way to really do anything, unfortunately. Ooh, a lot of enemies here. Because basically every attack in this game when you're in a Titan is a one-hit kill to the small enemies, we're going to be using whichever attack has like the shortest wind-up and cooldown afterwards. It's just going to be an attack we're going to be spamming to get through as many waves as quickly as we can. And although these doors look pretty harmless, they're actually like crushers and will do about half of my health, pretty much. No, Tiny isn't in Mind Over Mutant, he was just in Titans. So here we're going to do a skip. We're going to get on one of these guys, jump, unmount, get up here. See, just doing a small section. And here's the very long auto-scroller, which we're going to do our best to skip. So every now and then the platform is supposed to stop to do these little combat encounters. However, we're just going to fly from one to the next. I'm going to use the capture here, which is why I'm looking off to the distance, looking on my PC screen so I can actually see what you guys see. It's a little bit of a delay, but I'm just using it to help line up my shadows for when I need them. Most of the jumps are pretty free, except the last two, which are quite tough. Which we're coming up to here, actually. Okay. Very nice crash. Okay, that's fine. This is the last one. Okay, hopefully that made it. Oh, almost. I think we were like, we just didn't come out far enough from the wall. I think that's what happened there. But oh well, we can give this another go.
In the meantime, can I read some donations?
Oh, yes, please go ahead.
Okay, we have a $25 anonymous donation. Thank you very much. These $25 go towards the Afterthoughts and Announcement Talk Percent Tuxedo 2 Closing Boogaloo. So let me explain a little bit. Why is that? So this will happen right at the end of the marathon. Where all those that appear in the ending of this marathon will actually dress to the nines and like be in their best attire to wrap up yet another successful event. Right now, let me check. We are at $192 out of 300, which is actually going pretty smoothly so far, man. There's still about $100 to go, so if you want to see that, don't hesitate to donate.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the auto-scroller skip a second time. I'm just going to do it regularly just to make sure we don't waste any time. But hopefully you guys saw at least what that's supposed to look like. It's a lot faster than doing this, but unfortunately we didn't quite get it. It is a very precise trick to land, and is definitely the hardest thing in this game by a long shot. So I'm not too worried about not landing it, but oh well. So just going forward here, just going to defeat these enemies as we go. Hopefully clear them through before the platform stops to save the most amount of time we can. There we go. Okay, down to the last set ones here. Ooh, platform's going away without us here. Okay, at least we got plenty extra mojo to work with. Now I just need to wait for this to come to the end. Ooh, that was a nice shot. Oh, that's such a shame about the auto-scroller skip, though. Like I said, those were really close attempts. Almost made it. They were just both a little bit off there. So upcoming here is a pretty hard fight once we get to the bottom of this. We got a lot of enemies, and they're going to do a lot of damage to our Titans, so we're going to be doing our best to... The hardest bit of any combat situation really is the start of it. Once we've already defeated and captured the first Titan, things usually get a lot easier from there. But capturing that first Titan is always the hard part. So we're going to come down here, start off here. Hopefully get this guy. Yep, fantastic. Bring him forward a little bit. There we go. Captured this guy so we can clear out these first wave super quickly. And then I want to capture the polar guy second. And then I want to capture this guy. And then polar bear again. Because I want the polar bear last, because polar bear is going to be able to get this guy for us super quickly. And this guy is going to be able to clear out basically all the rest of these enemies. Fantastic. With the crystal from the combat encounter there, I think that's the only time you get a crystal from a combat encounter. There's a few different times you get collectibles from combat in the game, but it's rare and inconsistent. There we go. That's the 6th level done out of the 8 in the game. So we're getting to the latter half of the game now. Let's grab another attack upgrade whilst we're at it. And on to Tiny. Tiny is a completely random fight. We could get an amazing Tiny, we could get a terrible Tiny. Because we're on the rollerballs. And Tiny looks like this, and he has the highest pitch voice. Like, even higher pitched than the other versions of this Tiny. And hopefully we get an invincibility power up off him. Basically, every time I hit him, he's gonna bounce away a bit. And the more times I do it to him, the further he's gonna go when I hit him. And I want to hit him off the edge. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, to be entirely honest. Oh, and I don't want him to ram me off the edge. It's the most important part here. Unfortunately, I got a really bad spawn with Tiny as well. He stayed all towards the middle. In a perfect world, he would actually just fall off the edge at the very start. Unfortunately, not quite getting that here. Ooh, almost? Yes, there we go. That was pretty quick, Tiny. So hopefully, I'm saying very hopefully, we find a power-up here, because this is kind of our last chance. So we get damage, mutant, and yep, there we go. That's an invincibility. So we're just going to wait out the rest of this timer. Get a mutant health up. All good. Okay, I was a little worried for the state of this run for a moment there, but it's worked out pretty much perfectly. Okay, last Nina section for now. Oh, pushing the wrong button there. Just gotta change these sets of fuzzy animals. Ooh, I'm worryingly low health here again. A lot of attacks. There's a health upgrade just ahead. Darn it. Oh well. I ended up pushing the wrong button at the start of that level a little bit, so luckily it's short. I can just do this over. Yeah, this is going to be a long section, just turn a bunch of animals into stuff, so if there's anything you'd like to read, now would be a good time.
Alright, so let's see, we would like to thank ESA for actually supporting this marathon, because they actually provide us with their channel to stream for this event. They are also sharing gear, technical assistance, and notably the sponsors. Keep in mind, if you want to see another ESA marathon, is going very soon. There is ESA Winter 2021 that will run from the 14th to the 21st of February. This is going to be, trust me, I've seen the schedule for this marathon. It's definitely going to be a very, very interesting schedule.
Yeah, this upcoming ESA is going to be a lot to look forward to, so watch out for that later next month. Okay, there is the Nina section finished. That's the last one of those Nina preview levels. Yeah, it's a little hard to do this when I'm playing on an actual DS, because I've got this just off screen. Doing my best to keep good posture, but it's a little hard. Luckily I'm not on these DS games all too often, so... Here we are, the Insanity Highlands. Back to this island too. Got two more levels to visit on this one. But now there's wind to worry about, which I didn't see my shadow. There we go. Okay, that went a lot further than I remember it doing. So this is one of the first levels with a branching pathway, and when we get to it, we're going to be taking the left path. It's just a little faster, gets us to where we need to, and it also just happens to be easier, which is quite convenient. Good for enemies to clear it here. Luckily, this set of combat's really easy, especially with the any of those like expanding guys, they usually result in super fast combat situations. Especially these cat guys as well. They're fantastic for KOing large amounts of enemies really quickly. There we go. A few guys to clear out here. Nothing really too much new in the game at this point. It's a lot of just what you'd already seen, but harder at this now. I'm just focusing on a little bit more on these fights. I'm actually going to unmount here. Get some damage in through the strong combo attack. Very nice. We gotta watch out for these gusts here, they are surprisingly strong. And we're gonna take this path up to the left here. Said it will get us where we're going, just a little faster. And there's a lot less to worry about on this path too. It does make 100%ing in this game a little tough though, especially when it comes to the branching pathways. It's always a little hard to tell where you're supposed to be going. Also, there's just a minute chance that every time you jump, crash parts, and that's just kind of something you need to put up with in this game. Okay, I want to get rid of this guy on the left first. Oh, darn it. That's what I'm meaning about the stun locks, and how this game is just harder now. By harder, I didn't mean like fair hard. Sometimes enemies just kind of get you like that. Because you do have some iframes after you get hit, but if you get attacked at the same time, it'll do both the damage at the same time before the iframes. But when I respawn with all my defense feathers back, so won't be a problem going forward. Oh, never mind, already lost them. Okay, there we go. Scary bit's over. Okay, we've got another big one appearing here. Once again, he's super easy to get past. Just do a couple spins, and then I need to keep hold of this guy, because eventually another one's going to spawn. And luckily he is super quick to take out, especially. Fortunately, you can't keep any of these titans between loot zones, so we've got to abandon them whenever we're going to go to a new area. Especially means you can't keep a mojo multiplier from one level to another, which is a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. Here we're going to be taking the inside path, because the crystal is zone along this route. Okay, gonna go straight for the higher tier titan here. He says, missing the higher tier titan, I misread which stars that was over. Then one of these big enemies. It's not too bad, just need to get him on a stun lock. Take him on the bouncy box. And he does make the jump, just. Very much just. He never looks like he will, but he always makes it. And then just a short sprint to the finish from here. Fantastic. So up next is, without a single doubt, the hardest level in the game. I was really hoping to have 2 invincibility power-ups by this point. Hasn't quite panned out. Just gonna get a slight strength upgrade to hopefully be able to take out some of these enemies a bit faster. But it's just the outside of the lair is the difficult part. The moment we get into the lair, it should be easy going forward. Let's do our best. Keep good slide times going. This level is also like the biggest pain for 100%. I got so lost in this one because boxes are just hidden in the weirdest places. Like there's a box hidden like back there, for example. Okay, here I'm purposely not going to go for a smaller one because I don't want to get hit before taking this Titan. There we go. Okay, we should be safe from here on. There we go. So I want a smaller one just to keep our mojo multiplier going. Though we're not going to be getting any more upgrades for the rest of the game. That's why I decided to pick up that last one when I did. But still jumping from Titan to Titan, just because it's the fastest way to kill a Titan is to mount and unmount another one. And cool, now we're in the home stretch of the level pretty much. All relatively plain sailing. When we get inside of the lab, there's a bunch of teleporters, takes us to a bunch of different sections. I know what the fastest route is, so we can get around pretty easily. There's these huge electric walls, we just go around them. And we just follow this forward. This level is a little bit like a maze, because there's a lot to find in this level. But luckily all we care about is the one crystal. Nothing else matters. Getting checkpoints as we go. And we hit this exclamation mark box on the way. Take this teleporter. And we're pretty good. We just need a... It's just kind of a straightforward jog to the end of this level, a few off-scroller bits. So if there's anything you'd like to read, this would be a good time.
Alright, so let me check while I get the cat out of my lap. Let me check. We have still our incentives going, like the Tuxedo 2 closing boogaloo for the afterthoughts and announcements right at the end of the marathon. Right now we are still at $192 out of 300. And also we have the bid war for the name of the Charizard in the Pokemon Red and Blue Reverse Badge Order Run. Right now, Big Idiot is at $200, leading, I think, quite a sizable lead, because Butters and Snom, the runners-up here, are at only $50, with Mr. Anderson at $40 and Kizaron at $10. If you want to see any of these names, or if you want to have a name like the Charizard to have the name you want to choose, well, don't hesitate to donate for this incentive. And finally, I would like to thank you for watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. We were supposed to be a 2-day speedrunning marathon in Glasgow, Scotland, but due to the situation with the current world event, we are bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours.
One thing I haven't mentioned during this run is there's a chance that just during any load screen the game can crash. I'm pretty sure that's my DS, not the game, because I'm the only person who's ever like had that happen. But it hasn't happened yet, and I hope I haven't just jinxed it. But you know, it would have happened by now. I've never seen it crash like endgame. So this is the fourth boss, Nina. Finally getting to take her down.
We should do something really.
Everyone will back.
You're too
So maybe just to summarize the plot, Nina is fed up with being a henchperson, and like is highly dissatisfied with how evil the plan is. Because the plan is just to build a giant dancing robot. I'm not sure if I don't think I ever made that clear actually. Yeah, the plan is just to build a giant dancing robot. So here we need to take down Nina. We do this by, there will be a huge reticle that will come down. Nina will get hit. Now we take Nina and we shoot one enemy. There we go. And we just do that 3 times and we're good. Nina gets instantly stunned by the reticle, so... Okay, where's an enemy? Oh, that was perfect. Where's an enemy? That was pretty much a perfect Nina fight. You could not have asked for better. So this game has full voice acting, like, it's genuinely so high quality, it's such a shame people haven't really heard of this. So now Crash and Nina are teaming up because both of them, Cortex is now too evil for Crash, but not evil enough for Nina. So they've decided to work together to go and conquer the dance bot, or disco bot, or whatever it's called. To me it's the dance bot. But I mean, you could totally see it being disco, right? It's called the Cortex bot, but we know that's not its name. It's too funky.
We can't let Uncle. No. Let you fight your Wickleman.
Okay, so this is the final level coming up here. We got 2 halves, Crash half, a Nina half, and then a final boss at the very end. This is also where that invincibility is going to come in play. Because it's super useful in these upcoming fights. It doesn't last too long, but we do just need it pretty much for one enemy. Gonna get whichever one dies first. Darn it. Ugh. Some of the late game combos are difficult. You just get juggled around. And I'm gonna play this a little safe. I'm actually gonna take one of these guys first. Oh, never mind. He says not being able to take one of these guys first. Oh, are you coming with me? Yeah, you're coming with me. There we go. That'll make this a lot easier. There we go. That's what I was meant to do. Yeah, I forgot about that area a little bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Second combat arena. Ideally want one of these expanding guys. Hopefully we get stars around one of them. Did I? No, not quite. Wrong one. Oh, not getting any of them. That's a shame. That's okay though, we can just go for a larger one. Nice. Should be the final set of enemies. There we go. What you guys will see is the first 2D section. This game does have bonuses, which we haven't done any of yet because those are just optional, extra mojo, extra masks, extra boxes and all that. But yeah, this game does have 2D sections, which are super fun. Get away on this next one. Don't trust that crusher. Oh, where am I going? There we go. Okay, this upcoming bit is where I'm going to use my invincibility. Because we're going to go straight from a tier, just from Crash to a tier 3 enemy. There we go. And the reason we need this guy is because we're going to bring him forward. Not only clear us out these enemies, but also help us get this guy, who is a lot harder to get with just Crash on his own. So this is probably the only situation in the whole game we aren't going to be jumping from Titan to Titan, because this guy can one-hit kill a Titan that's stunned. Okay, that's the end of the Crash section. On to Nina. This is first, Nina's very first combat arena in the whole game. There's only I think 2 or 3 locked doors as Nina, so we don't actually need to do that much fighting. It's mostly just going to be running, taking optimal lines when we can. Nina, similarly, has a 2D section, which is super fun as well. It's nice having a game that alternates between 2D and 3D. Because this game has a lot of throwbacks to the kind of mechanics that were in the original games, which is a lot of fun to see. Few moving platforms here that you really don't need to wait for. The distance between them is tiny. Nina's final locked door is just going to be around this corner here. Luckily we don't have too much to fear, just need to get that sheep and we're all good. Okay, we're on to the final boss. We're going to go off the right side Titans first to work our way up the food chain. And then jack one huge Titan, and that'll help us fight the final boss in a really fast manner.
And, well, I can't. Oh, just make it.
Great, I'll shoot him with the Mutato Ray Gun 3000. Watch me.
So at this point, Nina attempts to betray us, but we're too smart for that.
You know, that didn't come from my side.
So now that Nina's useless, Cortex needs to try to defeat us, who I'm not sure if he actually had a plan prepared for this, but he's got the weirdest robot that you've ever seen in a Crash game, by a long shot. So we're coming to the right side here first.
It took 14 tries.
Apparently that was an insta-kill. Cool, okay. I didn't even realize the thingy hit us there, but okay. So we need to kill all the Titans here. Killing all the Titans here will spawn a larger Titan, which is the one we actually want.
Some more relaxing.
And I want the polar bear to be the last one, because the polar bear is the fastest guy to get this with. And we're going to take this polar bear, bring him up here, stun this guy. And position ourselves carefully. Okay, now we're just going to wail on him. He can't hit us here. So we're just hitting him. Well, really any time he can take damage. He's got 3 phases like this, and we just kind of need to wait out. Nothing too special we can do, unfortunately. Okay, that's phase 1. I'm just gonna take this guy with us. It's not too far that we're going. And it's the exact same setup for the next couple of phases as well. Just made that in time. Get our angle right, get our position right, this all looks good. Oh, maybe a little off. There we go. That's what we need. Stealth's a little hard to tell when you're actually like dealing damage and not. I'm quite glad he does flash when he does take damage. Because otherwise it would be a little difficult. His health bar doesn't always move. Time's going to be coming up soon, by the way. We're on our final phase. I won't know too far in advance because his health bar just kind of drops a ton on the last hit. So just be ready, I guess. Okay. Almost there. It'll just be a hit or more now. Time.
Alright, GG.
Thank you. That's the so yeah, that's Crash the Titans. Any percent. So the 100% ending is completely different. It is 100% worth seeing. So if you saw this game and you thought it looked somewhat fun, I'd recommend doing a casual playthrough, giving it a go, see what you think, track down the masks, track down the boxes, achieve those Wumpa goals, and you can have a fab time with this game. Super cheap, easy to find, because, you know, who really wanted this game? But thank you all for having me. This was really great being able to show this off. And yeah, we'll then stick around and enjoy the rest of the marathon. That's all I guess I gotta say.
And it used the Tiki Mojo as power? And you had to climb it.